Welcome back to the Safety Edge podcast, where safety leaders sharpen their edge. I'm Charles Edgar, your safety leadership coach. In this podcast, we explore the real dilemmas safety leaders face on site and in the workplace. Not textbook examples, not perfect scenarios, but the challenging, uncomfortable human moments when there's no obvious right answer and the pressure is real. And in each episode, we unpack one real-world leadership dilemma and explore how adopting a coaching mindset can make the difference. Not by controlling people, but by sharpening how we think, listen, and lead. In this season, we are focusing on leadership under pressure to explore what happens to safety when urgency compresses thinking. Today's episode centers on a pattern many organizations normalize without realizing it. Everyone is busy and no one is thinking. Because sometimes the most dangerous moment isn't when things go wrong, it's when everything appears to be working. Now, let's unpack the dilemma. Picture this. It's mid-shift. Production is already behind. A critical system has been restarted once today. Radios are active. Decisions are being made quickly. People are focused, responsive, and moving fast. Everyone looks busy. During a brief process interruption, a process line is brought back online. The restart follows what's familiar, not what's fully examined. The checklist is referenced, but not walked through line by line. An isolation is assumed correct. Minutes later, an alarm activates, not a full emergency, but serious enough to trigger escalation protocols. Pressure rises. A relief device activates. The system stabilizes, just within its limits. No injuries, no off-site impact, no visible damage. On paper, it's a non-event. But you know the truth. Had one safeguard failed, had one valve not responded, had one person been in the wrong location, this could have escalated into a major incident. When you ask what happened, the answers come quickly. We are behind. Everyone was stretched. We didn't stop to think. We just did what usually works. No one broke the rules intentionally. No one acted recklessly. Yet, a high potential near miss still emerged. Not because people were incapable, but because busyness replaced deliberate thinking. From where you stand, you know something is wrong, but you are not sure how to respond in the moment. Now you are in a dilemma. You are standing in the space between what just happened and what almost did. The dilemma for you is clear. Do you pause, gather the team, and review what went wrong before it escalates? And if you do pause the team, what will you say and how will they respond? Why is this a true leadership dilemma? This is a true leadership dilemma because this isn't a failure of competence, it's rather a failure of attention. Under pressure, the human brain shifts into execution mode. Speed feels responsible. Momentum feels like control. Thinking feels slow. And when leaders, even unintentionally reinforce urgency, people stop questioning assumptions. They rely on familiarity. They trust that systems will catch them. That's how catastrophic risk builds quietly. Not through one bad decision, but through a series of unexamined ones. The danger isn't the alarm. The danger is a culture that moves on from it too quickly. What do most leaders do at such moments? At such moments, most leaders tend to react in such predictable ways. First, many leaders focus on the outcome. No one got hurt, the safeguards worked. But success by recovery is not success by design. Second, leaders rush to restore normal operations. Production must resume. Schedules must recover. Reflection gets deferred again and again. Third, leaders hesitate to slow things down. They worry about being seen as overreacting, so the system keeps moving with the same assumptions intact. And the real learning opportunity slips away. Now let's see it from the coaching lens. The alarm has cleared. The system is stable. Operations wants to resume fully. The supervisor approaches you and he says,
"We're okay now. The system's safeguards worked well as expected. We need to get back on track."
And you respond, "I'm relieved the system protected us. But before we restart fully, can we pause for 5 minutes?" The supervisor responds,
5 minutes? For what?
At this point, you gather the key players and you remark, "What assumptions did we make today because we were under pressure?" The engineer responded,
"I guess we assumed isolation was complete because it usually is."
And you respond back, "And what made it harder to challenge that assumption?" The operator responds,
"As far as I can see, everyone was focused on restarting the process. No one wanted to slow things down."
At this point, the room goes quiet, not defensive, not tense, but reflective. After the discussion, the supervisor speaks again.
Honestly, when the alarm cleared, my first instinct was relief. Relief that nothing bad happened. But listening now, I realize something else. We didn't avoid a major incident because we thought it through. We avoided it because the system caught us. And that's uncomfortable to admit, because if the system hadn't stepped in, we wouldn't have had time to correct it.
Now the conversation changes. Controls are reviewed. Restart protocols are strengthened. Decision authority is clarified. The system resumes, not faster, but wiser. Why this approach works? This approach works because near misses are signals, not interruptions. A coaching response slows the system just enough for thinking to catch up with action. It shifts the focus from recovery to prevention. When leaders create space to reflect under pressure, they transform luck to learning. And over time, teams learn that thinking is not optional. It's part of safe performance. Here's the key insight from this episode. Busyness is not neutral. When left unchecked, it actively reshapes how people perceive risk. In high-pressure environments, constant activities creates the illusion of control. Things are moving, tasks are getting done, people look engaged, but motion alone doesn't mean the system is thinking. When everyone is busy, small signals are easy to miss, near misses are brushed aside, temporary fixes linger longer than intended, and assumptions, they quietly replace deliberate judgment. Over time, teams stop asking, "Is this still safe?" And they start asking, often unconsciously, "Can we get away with this, just this once?" Not because they don't care, but because pressure has narrowed the field of attention. This is where leadership truly matters. Because leaders don't just manage work, they shape what the system pays attention to. Every time a leader prioritizes speed over reflection, the message is clear: thinking is optional. But every time a leader creates space, even briefly, to pause, question, and reflect, they send a different signal. Judgment matters, learning matters, speaking up matters. The most resilient organizations aren't the ones that eliminate pressure. They are the ones that protect thinking under pressure. They understand that incidents rarely come from one bad decision. They emerge from a chain of unexamined assumptions, normalize shortcuts, and missed opportunities to pause. Leadership under pressure isn't about doing more. It's about knowing when not to rush. It's about resisting the urge to confuse urgency with importance and having the courage to slow the system down. Not because something has already gone wrong, but because something almost did. And in that moment, leadership is revealed in what you do next. When leaders treat near misses as learning moments, busyness no longer hides risk, it reveals it. And that's how organizations move from being reactive to becoming thoughtful, adaptive, and truly safe. That is the edge. As we close, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever experienced a near miss that was really a warning sign? How did you handle it at the time? Did you move on quickly? Did you downplay it? Did you feel the pressure to keep things moving? And now, with the insights from this episode, how would you handle it differently? What pause would you introduce? What questions would you ask? What signals would you send to your team? Because every near miss is a choice point, a moment where leaders can choose to either reinforce busyness or protect thinking. As safety leaders, our role isn't just to keep work moving, it's to keep thinking alive, especially when pressure is highest. If today's episode resonated with you, please leave us a comment and share your thoughts on this. Your reflection might help another leader recognize a warning sign before it becomes an incident. While here, make sure to follow and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to invite a friend or colleague to listen along with you. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Safety Edge podcast. I'm Charles Edgar, your safety leadership coach. And until next time, keep leading, keep learning, and keep sharpening your edge. Bye for now.
Brought to you by the Safety Edge platform, an independent leadership and safety learning platform, building leadership capacity, one conversation at a time. Find us wherever you get your podcasts